Now today we are celebrating 50 years of operation of the Air Transport Wing of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force. But, there's a big but there, the history of its members is longer than that because training of the initial air and ground crews began well before the 10th of August 1975. My part is, in 1974, I was the senior multi-engine instructor examiner for the RAAF based at East Sale in Victoria. I was ordered to create an advanced flying course on Dakota aircraft for number 1 Papua New Guinea pilot course. Now this was unprecedented. There had never been such a course in the RAAF. Australian pilots had to first complete at least 240 flying hours, basic and advanced flying on single-engine aircraft before being trained on multi-engine aircraft. Now these Papua New Guinea trainees had only 120 hours on the Windshield, a single-engine aircraft. And for those of you who know the difference between operating a single-engine aircraft to a multi-engine aircraft, the challenge was significant, both for me and for them. In April 1974, 5 Papua New Guinea trainees arrived at RAF Base East Sale. Second Lieutenants Ignatius Lai, John Miria, Peter Yasi, Peniel Kakasek and Philip Safihao. After several weeks of ground school, they began flying with me and my deputy, Arthur Elliott, late in May 1974. Despite doubts about the wisdom of this unusual flying course, all trainees advanced well enough for a very serious decision that I had to make, which was to allow each trainee to fly solo, not by themselves, as is the case with a single-engine aircraft, but to fly as captain with another trainee as co-pilot. I made that decision because I had faith in these young men. They had demonstrated the ability to safely and confidently operate a large multi-engine aircraft. Now, I was aware that so far as I knew, no Papua New Guinea pilot had flown as captain of such an aircraft, although there were some who were flying as co-pilots in Papua New Guinea itself. So to my knowledge, Ignatius Lai was the first Papua New Guinea pilot to actually fly as captain of a multi-engine aircraft with John Miria as his co-pilot in June 1974. And following from that historical moment, the other members of number 1 pilot course also flew as captains in due course with their fellow trainees as co-pilots. In mid-November 1974, I conducted final handling tests in my role as an examiner on these famous 5 trainees, and all passed without any problems. At a graduation parade on the 20th of November 1974 at RAF Base East Sale, they were presented with their wings by the Papua New Guinea Minister for Defence. Following this historic event, they were posted to RAF Base Laverton for flying duties as Dakota co-pilots to gain experience before moving to Port Moresby in 1975. These 5 men were your founding fathers of the Air Transport Squadron, now the Air Transport Wing. In 1980, I was posted to be the commanding officer of the Air Transport Squadron, then based at Lai, a task I was honoured to accept. I recall with great pleasure that we were able to carry out a massed flyover of Lai in December 1981, consisting of all the aircraft the squadron possessed at that time, 6 Dakotas and 4 Nomads, and that almost all the crews were Papua New Guinea pilots and loadmasters. Another memorable occasion for me was the retirement function for the then Commander of the Defence Force, Brigadier Ted Dero. He had been a firm supporter of the air element, and as a token of his personal interest, I presented him with his own aircraft, a model of a Nomad painted in PNG colours. And I understand from his son, who spoke to you today at the parade, that he still has that model as pride of place in his memento cabinet. So thank you all for allowing me to reminisce on this important occasion. My very best wishes for the future. And I have a small presentation for your commanding officer of a photo album, which I hope will become part of your unit history. It has some photos of those early days before 1975. And Peter Yasi is here as a reminder of that period. And also some photos of my time in Lai in 1981. There are some gaps in that folder, and I hope other people will bring photos in of the history of the Air Transport Wing to put in that album and make it a complete photographic history of the Air Transport Wing. Thank you.